Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is me Abu Ahmed Chaudhary and welcome to AMI Physics class. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 3.02, which is motion laws. So before that we are going to get a short revision of the previous chapter, so let's not delay anymore and let's begin. So, please, I would request everyone to write the name of the chapter and the number of the chapter. Chapter 3.02, motion laws. So before starting the new chapter, motion laws, let us revise the previous chapter, which was acceleration, which was speed, velocity and acceleration. So the first thing is that what does speed means? What does speed means? Speed is actually the rate of distance is called speed. The rate of distance is called speed, or the rate of change of position of any object or an object is in any direction is its speed. The rate of change of position of an object in any direction is its speed. So, as they were saying that the rate of change of position of an object, the rate of change of position of an object in any direction is its speed. So, speed is equals to total distance traveled by total time. Total distance traveled by total time. V equals to S by T. V is equals to S by T. By V here we represent the speed, and by S we represent here the distance, and by T we represent time. That's the formula of measuring speed. So as I've written the definition in the previous class, but no worries, I'm gonna write it today also, but I'm not gonna write the examples. So as you guys are seeing here, the definition of speed has been written. Speed is equals to the rate of change of position. The rate of change of position of an object in any direction is its speed. The rate of change of position of an object in any direction is its speed, full stop. So the formula of speed is also given. Speed is equals to total distance by total time. The formula of is the word. The first one is the word formula and the second one is the symbol formula. The first one is the word formula and the second one is the symbol formula. Speed is equals to total time, distance by total time, and V is equals to S by T is the same thing. Now let's come to the point that how speed is measured. Speed is measured by meter per second, and I have written meter per second in two different ways. One is meter m/s, or you can also write m into s or ms to the m into s to the power minus 1, m into s to the power minus 1. You can write in any one format. So let us know that why speed is measured in meter per second. See, the distance is the SI unit of distance, or the SI unit to measure distance is meter. The SI unit to measure distance is meter, and the SI unit to measure time is second. So when we are going to divide distance by time, we are simply divide. For example, 10 meter by 5 seconds. A car is moving. A car has covered a distance of 10 meter in 5 seconds. So find out the speed of the car. So the speed of the car will be 2 meter per second. 10 meter, 2 meter per second. The speed of the car is 2 meter per second. How? The total distance that we were given with 10 meter and the total time we were given with is 5 seconds. So 10 meter by 5 seconds is equals to 2 meter per second. 10 by 5 is 2, and meter divided by second is meter divided by second, or meter per second. You can say anything. So as I've said an example, so let's listen to another example. If a car travels or covers a distance of 10 kilometers, if a car travels or covers a distance of 10 kilometers in 2 hours, calculate the speed. Now see the distance and the time. We have been given the distance and the time, but there is a catch that we haven't given the distance and the time in the SI unit. So you can, if the question asks you to find out the speed, if the question asks you to find out the speed in kilometer per hour, then you don't have to convert this thing. If the question, listen very carefully, if the question or asks you to find the speed of a car in kilometer per hour, then you don't have to convert the distance which is given in kilometer into meter, or the time which is given in hour into seconds. But if nothing has said in the question, or only this much has been said, that calculate the speed of the car, then you have to understand that you have to first convert both of the given data into the SI unit. So first data is distance, which has been given 10 kilometer. The first data is distance, which has been given 10 kilometers. So 10 kilometer is equal to 10,000 meter. How? As we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So 10 kilometer is equal to 10 into 1,000 meter, which is 10,000 meter. And let us come to the point that time. We have been given the time. The second data is given time. The time has been given us that it is 2 hours. The time that has been given to us is 2 hours. So 2 hours we have to convert it first to minute and then to second. So before converting it from hours to directly second, you have to multiply the number of hours with 3600 seconds. Or you can also do like this, that 2 hours is equal to 2 into 60, which will give you 120 minutes. Again, then 120 minutes into 60, which will now convert into seconds, which will be 7200 seconds. Or you can directly write 2 into 3600 seconds, which will also give you 7200 seconds. So as now we have found out the distance and time in the SI unit. Now we can just put the data in the formula, and we can just write the answer. So when we are going to write, the formula is that speed is equal to total distance traveled, or total distance by total time. The total distance the car has traveled is 10 kilometers. The total distance the car has traveled is 10 kilometers, which we have found 10,000 meters. So 10,000 meters by total time. The total time was given 2 hours, which we have found to 7200, which we have found to 7200 seconds. So 10,000 meters by 7200 seconds is 1.389 meter per second, which is 1.389 meter per second. I have kept until 3 decimal places, but the question is gonna ask you, if nothing has been asked, it's better to keep until 2 decimal places if there is any. If there is any, it is better to keep the answer until 2 decimal places if nothing has been asked. If you have been asked to give the answer in 2 decimal places, or 1 decimal place, or 3 decimal place, then you have to write your answer according to that. So the thing I have just said, that first we have to make the calculation of distance and time in SI units. First we have to make the calculation of distance and time into SI unit, as it is the rule. As it is the rule of physics or anything. As the SI unit of distance is meter and the SI unit of time is second, so the SI unit of speed is meter per second, as I have explained previously. Now let us come to a new point, which is velocity. Now comes the question that what is velocity? Velocity is the speed at which something moves in a particular direction. Velocity is the speed at which something moves in a particular direction. For example, you are running forward, or you are running towards your school. You have a velocity. So velocity is equal to total displacement by total time. Velocity is equal to total displacement by total time. V is equal to del x by del t. V is equal to del x by del t. Now let's come to the point that what does displacement means. Displacement is a distance between the final position and the initial position. Displacement is the distance between the final position and the initial position. For example, you have worked, you are standing in the middle of the earth. You are standing at the middle point of the earth and you are walking 10 kilometers forward. You are walking 10 kilometers forward to the north. You are at the center of the earth and you are walking 10 kilometers forward at the center. You are walking 10 kilometers to the north, from the center of the earth. So this is your initial position was 0, and again you have came. Your initial position was 10 kilometer north from the center of the earth. Again, after the 10 kilometer, you have came back to the center of the earth again. Again, when you came to the center of the earth, so your displacement was 10 kilometer minus 10 kilometer, which is equals to 0 kilometer. Total distance you covered was 20 kilometer. Total distance you covered was 20 kilometer. As you have to first walk 20 for coming back to the same position. First, you have to go. For example, from Gulistan to your home, from Gulistan to your home, suppose the distance is 10 kilometers. Suppose that distance or the measurement is 10, the road is 10 kilometers away from you. The road is 10 kilometers from Gulistan, your house is 10 kilometers away. Now, if you go to Gulistan from your home, you will cover a distance of 10 kilometers. Again, when you're gonna come back to your home from Gulistan, you're again gonna cover a distance of 10 kilometers. So the overall distance you covered was 20 kilometers, as 10 kilometers to go and 10 kilometers to come. But the displacement is 0, as final position minus initial position. So final position was my 10. Final position was my 10 kilometer, and my initial position was also 10. So 10 minus 10 is 0. For example, if a person travels 50 kilometers north from the center of the earth and then again come to the center, so the displacement will be 0 kilometer. As the formula is the final position minus initial position, which is equals to 0. Let me write the definition of velocity and displacement for you guys, and also the formula for velocity. So, as you guys are seeing here, that I have written the velocity definition, the formula of velocity, and also written the formula, the definition of displacement. So, one thing which I didn't say in this video is that what is the meaning of this triangle. This triangle here means that del. This triangle, as you guys are saying, that velocity is equal to total displacement by time, which means total time. I have written V equals to triangle X by triangle T. Here, one new thing, it's a one new concept which you are going to learn in IGCSE. But as you are following AMI, so I'm going to teach you right now. It's a new concept and an easy concept. This triangle here means that del. See, I have also written there. A short note has been written for your better understanding. Here, triangle means del. Here, triangle means del. And the word del here means that change in. You are going to find it in IGCSE chemistry and IGCSE physics also. And from IGCSE physics and chemistry, you are gonna see till you continue to read physics and chemistry in further in your life. But until 7, this thing is not been introduced. If you write it, the teacher won't cut it, but the teacher is going to be impressed that this kid knows something good. That this kid knows something good, something better, something which is not something which I didn't teach them, something which is a concept of IGCSE. So let's keep this thing here and let's focus on displacement right now. Displacement is the distance between the final position and the initial position of an object. Displacement is the distance between the final position and the initial position of an object. Now is the final thing is that what is acceleration? The rate of change of velocity in a specific direction is also known as acceleration. Not also, but is known as acceleration. Acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time taken. By changing velocity means that dv, del v. By changing velocity means del v by t. Del v by t. By del v here, we mean that change in velocity, and we calculate change in velocity in this form that final velocity minus initial velocity is equals to my change in velocity. Let me write the definition and the formula so that it will help you guys to understand better. So, as you guys are seeing here that I have written the definition and the formula of acceleration. The last thing we are going to learn is the deceleration. But before that, we are going to learn acceleration. Acceleration is a rate of change of velocity in a specific direction. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity in a specific direction. So, acceleration is equals to change in velocity by changing time. By changing velocity by time taken. Changing velocity by time taken. So, well, we can also write that del V is equals del V by T. A equals to del V by T, or we can also write by V minus U by T. Here, see, I have written that V is equals to final velocity is U equals to initial velocity, T is equals to time taken, and del V is equals to change in velocity. So, deceleration it is the rate of change of losing velocity is called retardation or deceleration. The rate of change of losing velocity is called retardation or deceleration. Now, let us come to the motion graph chapter. First example, imagine a car traveling along a road. Imagine a car traveling along a road. There is a street light on the, street light on the road. Every second the distance of the car from the post is measured. Distance and time readings are recorded in a chart and used to plot a graph. For example, a table is shown. Let me show the table. So guys, you guys are seeing, hey, you guys are seeing here that I have drawn a road, a street lamp and a car. Please draw this average diagram. My diagram is not that good, but still it's understandable. That's what it is important. Then I would like to request you guys to write the thing which I have written under the line. The thing I have written is that imagine this car is traveling along the road. Imagine this car is traveling along the road, full stop. There is a street light on the road. Imagine this car is traveling along the road. I seriously apologize from the depth of my heart for the handwriting. I seriously apologize from the depth of my heart for the handwriting on the board, but I'm trying to improve it, and inshallah it will improve. But till then, please bear with me. Imagine this car is traveling along the road. Imagine this car is traveling along the road, full stop. There is a street light on the road, full stop. There is a street light on the road, full stop. Every second the distance of the car is measured, full stop. Every second the distance of the car is measured, full stop. Distance and time readings are recorded in a chart. Distance and time readings are recorded in the chart. Distance and time readings are recorded in a chart and used to plot a graph, full stop. Write this thing, give a line gap, or write in the next line that, for example, give colon, give a hyphen, and we are going to draw a box or a chart below. We are going to draw a chart below. I'm going to erase this thing. Those who need time, please pause the video, take a screenshot, or please pause the video and write the thing and draw the diagram, then again continue the video. So as you guys are seeing here that I have drawn a graph here and I have plotted chart. Though first thing is that here is a distance divided by time graph. It's a distance divided by time graph, which means that it's a speed, it's a graph of calculating speed. It's a graph of calculating speed. My points may not match exactly as it's on the whiteboard. Doesn't match, but the main motive is you guys to understand that for 1 second the distance covered by the car was 20 kilometers. For 2 seconds, the distance covered by the car was 20 meters. It should be meter, not kilometer. Let me correct it. See, if you divide 1 divided by 20 divided by 1, it's 20. 40 divided by 2, it's 20. 60 divided by 3, it's 20. 80 divided by 4, it's 20. 100 divided by 5, it's 20. So it's a constant speed graph. It's a constant distance. It's a constant graph of the speed of the car. It's a constant speed graph. It's a constant speed graph of the car. It's a distance time graph. It's a distance time graph is also known as a speed graph. The distance time graph is also known as a speed graph, as speed is equals to total distance by total time. As speed is equals to total distance by total time. My point may not doesn't match, but the main motive is you guys to understand. The exact thing will be like this. Exact thing will be like this. For 1 second, the x-axis here is the x-axis is time and the y-axis is distance. So you have to label the axes like this: time in seconds, distance in meters. Time in seconds, distance in meters. 1 is equals to 20, 2 is equals to 40, 3 is equals to 60, 4 is equals to 80, and 5 is equals to 100. So here, then as if you have plotted the points or plotted the coordinates of these things of x-axis and y-axis or the time and distance, then you are going to put a line from through the origin of the graph. A line will pass through the origin of the line is C. You're seeing here that a line is passing through the origin of the curve or through the origin of the graph. So this means that it's a constant speed. The car is moving at a constant speed of 20 meters per second. See, I have already written the car is traveling at a constant speed of 20 meters per second. How we have understood that it is traveling at a constant speed? By seeing the curve that it's a straight line from the origin. Whenever a distance time graph is a straight line from the origin, it means that the object is traveling at a constant speed. Another thing we can know by is that by dividing the amount of distances by the amount of time. For example, in 1 second it has covered 20 meters, but in 2 seconds it has covered the double of it, which means that if we divide the distance by time, still we are getting 20. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So this is how we can get that the constant speed, it is moving at a constant speed. Otherwise you can also look at that 20 minus 0 is 20, 40 minus 20 is 20, 60 minus 40 is 20, 80 minus 60 is 20, 100 minus 80 is also 20. This is only applicable when it is a constant speed graph, constant speed graph, constant speed graph, which is also known as the distance time graph. So let's keep it till today. That's all for today, and inshallah we will learn more about this chapter in the next class. So assalamu alaikum everyone.